Well, I always believed I was saved since I was a little girl. So I always tried to follow God and do what was right from what I knew. I wanted to go to church on Sunday. That was the big thing. In 1985, I graduated from high school and came down to Shippensburg University, and I met my husband Randy like the first couple days of college. So we started going to college here together, and we met Dana at some point along the way, who was going to church here. She was always over at church helping. I would come over here to visit with her. I got to be in on all the skit practices and things that everybody was doing around here, and I got to experience all that as I sat there and watched and, you know, did work or whatever I was doing. So in 1986, we got engaged, and we were engaged for 3.5 years. And, you know, at some point we started planning our wedding and decided to have it here in Shippensburg, and everybody would come from the York area and from my hometown also. We asked Pastor Nancy if she would do our reception, even though we didn't go here. But we knew her because I would come over to visit Dana, and I struck up friendships with everybody, and she agreed to have our wedding reception. It was fun. It was like a usual Oasis Church function. She had all kinds of beautiful food, and all the girls were serving us and made us feel so special. Susie let us use the white skirting from her wedding, I think. Pastor Ed was emceeing the whole thing, and he had me and Randy lip syncing an Amy Grant song. I do remember that during the wedding. You know, that's the kind of crazy stuff that wouldn't be a usual thing for us to do. It must have really impacted us and just, you know, made us feel special, and we felt the love of God, even though we might not have been able to put that into words per se at that time. But we started coming to youth night then. That was how we started, and we slowly started coming. And then Randy got filled with the Holy Spirit the one youth night. So that was a big step there. And then we ended up having our first child, Matthew, and we'd bring him to youth night, to the youth group, for probably a year at least. I think as you start being involved on Sundays and start seeing the need for things, you feel like you want to get more involved. So then you just start jumping in and you start helping with things. As you're helping and doing things for God, I don't know, you're digging in more to God and growing closer to God as you are involved. And we also started taking Understanding God classes, which was amazing to me because it answered every question that I ever had about God my whole life. Things that I didn't understand were right there with the scriptures. We went into CWS, and we took CWS when our kids were little. Now as you're reading the Bible, it just makes you grow, and you just keep realizing He's there for you, and He's real, and He's not just, you know, somebody up in the sky. I've had the opportunity to meet a lot of people through church and different, you know, yard sales or walks that I take, and it's just been a really neat opportunity to make friends and point them to God. So Linnea was at my yard sale on Garfield Street, and she had a new baby, Amanda. So I obviously start talking to her about her baby, because I had little children, and we just kind of struck up a friendship, and we started taking walks together, and we'd get together every week and just enjoyed our friendship together. I guess I tried to invite her to different things. She came to the fair and was there to hear different skits and different things at the fair. Well, it's an amazing honor to look at her and see that they came from something that I invited her to. That's just always your prayer, that, you know, you invite millions of people to come, and half the time they don't come. But then when they do come, it's just such an honor that they come and they hear and they receive, and then they act on it, and then they keep acting on it, and they keep growing and going on in God also, right alongside you. So that it's just beautiful. I think that's always the push for me. It's always, I want them to know God. The most thing that I always think about is how God has always been with me through everything, through having my kids, and, you know, as they were growing up, through health issues that were hard and difficult, and you felt like you were all alone. But God was always there, no matter what. You just have to keep going on, keep going, and, you know, following God and doing what you know is right. So I'm so thankful that we were able to have a reception here, and that somebody obeyed the call to go and reached out to us and was able to really make a difference in our lives as we were able to start coming here and raise our family here and continue on in God.